Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Happy Hump Day. I hope you had a great start of your week because it only gets better from here. All right, as you know, I'm Mr. Mask-Oats, and today we're going to be talking about some Algebra 2. So today we're going to learn something called frequencies. So our objective for today is that we are able to organize bivariate categorical data in a two-way table, and that you guys are able to calculate rows and column relative frequencies and interpret them in context. So if we think of the word univariate, it has the same stem as un or uno, meaning one. So it's going to be one variable. And when we see the word bivariate categories, it's going to be something that means two variables. So our materials for today are going to be a pencil and paper, so we can take our notes, a camera, so we can take our pictures of our work, and a computer, so we can upload our work. All right? And last but not least, we need our steps for success. We need to annotate for key information. We need to create an equation for the relative frequency, and we'll talk about what that is in a bit. And then we want to solve our equations. Okay? You give me just a moment, we'll open up our first problem. All right, our first problem reads, given the following table, find the relative frequency for a student who prefers chocolate ice cream. Okay, first let's talk about what relative frequency is. So let's say we took a study. So we walked into the classroom, there was 25 of us in the classroom, and I asked each one of you, what type of ice cream do you like? Some of you said chocolate, some say strawberry, and some would say vanilla. Okay? And that would be perfectly fine. And we would just organize that information into a table. And if we're only thinking about the types of ice cream and the flavor of ice creams, okay, first we would call that a categorical table because it's giving us categories. But not only is it categorical, it's univariable or univariate. It only has one variable, okay, as opposed to numerical and bivariate, which again, we'll get into bivariate a little later. But numerical, we want to measure something like how many inches of rain did Houston get yesterday? Okay, so we have this univariate table and we want to annotate the information. So we're going to annotate. It says given the table. What table am I talking about? We're just going to say this one. Okay, find the relative frequency of students who prefer chocolate. So here we see we have chocolate, ice cream, my favorite. And then we have the total number of kids who were surveyed. Okay? Next, I'm going to create my equation. So if I want to create my relative frequency or if I want to create my proportion, I'll say that I have 11 out of 25 people who like chocolate ice cream versus the other flavors. Now, when we have proportions or relative frequencies, we want to write them in decimals and percents. So to convert this into a decimal or percent, percent meaning per 100, I would set this equal to some number, some number over 100. And now I have to find that number. So we solve. Here, you guys' favorite thing, the butterfly method. I'm going to cross multiply. And here, I'm going to get 1100 or 1100. And I'm going to cross multiply other way. And that will equal 25x. Last but not least, I'm going to divide both of these by 25. And when I divide them, I'll see that this x equals 44. Okay? So x over 100 would be 44 over 100. Now that's really easy to make into a decimal, because if we just divide both of those by 100, we see that this becomes 0.44. Okay? And that's it. So now you take a minute and solve for the next problem. Okay? Just for reference, I'll go back to our steps, annotate for key information. We want to create an equation for our relative frequency. And last but not least, we want to solve an equation for our desired, this should say proportion, not probability. All right? Now, you take a second to try the next problem.